Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel, Self Love Lexi. I'm super excited for today's topic, how to be peaceful in the midst of chaos. I grew up in a very chaotic household. People screaming all the time, shade being thrown all the time, and I never really felt safe to express my emotions. Now, as a child, being wired for survival and being wired with stress, I subconsciously was looking for stress every area of my life. When I was younger, I just thought I was super unlucky because I would always find myself in such stressful, chaotic, frequency situations constantly. For example, I would always find myself in drama at school all the time, and I just thought it was the people around me. I never understood or took a moment to consider that maybe I was the denominator of all this stress, of this drama. There was one year in my life where God had placed me in a period of solitude, and that is when my eyes opened up to the level of stress I was addicted to. Again, because I originally thought everyone else around me was just creating so much drama in my life. I was forced to see that I was the one creating drama. The way this was shown to me was through schoolwork, okay? So I would have a week to complete an assignment, a full week, and I would always wait last minute. And my excuse was, I just work better under pressure. That's literally a sign for help. That's like calling for help. I didn't work better under pressure. I was used to and felt safe in stress and chaos. And a lot of people do this. A lot of people create life to be harder than it actually needs to be because of the feeling of calmness. For example, in psychology, we know that if you had an emotionally unavailable father, if you don't heal and do that inner work as a daughter, you are going to find men who are also emotionally unavailable to fill that void you felt. Little psychology lesson if you didn't know. I am now somebody who loves my peace so much, and because I've seen what life looks like being so chaotic, peace is a huge part of my life that I protect at all costs. What I like to say is a man isn't competing for another man's place in my life. He is competing against my peace. If a man can't bring me more peace than I already have, then why? What's the point? First step of cultivating more peace even in the midst of chaos is to bring awareness to what the chaos even is. Whether it be a single thing or a whole page of things that are keeping up your mental real estate, write them down. Bring awareness to them. We bring awareness to these things because we're not running from it. We're not running from the chaos. We want to bring a peaceful amount of awareness to the situation. A lot of people under stress, they like to turn to things like drugs and alcohol, but at the end of the day, you are just going to get more stress in your life. Stress, pain, all of those things are inevitable in life. But when you have the ability to alchemize it, which I have a video on my YouTube channel, how to be a master alchemist, definitely look at that video. But if you don't have the ability to alchemize pain into healing, alchemize pain into love, alchemize pain into beauty, you're just going to be stuck in a perpetual cycle of running away. I think that's what we're taught. We're taught that emotions aren't good to feel. We're taught that pain is scary, but I love pain, and I don't mean physical pain. I love emotional pain. I sit in it. I allow myself to grow, to learn, to expand from the pain that I've experienced, because we only grow in uncomfortable situations. If you are comfortable your whole life, you never take risks, you are never going to grow as a person. The reason why I'm so wise at my age and I've grown so much is because of the things that I've gone through. You can look at it in two ways. I've gone through a lot, so I hate life and I don't want to do anything and I'm scared. Or two, I love life and I alchemize all the pain that I've learned and I take risks and I grow. No matter what you've been through, whether small or big, you can turn it into beauty. You can turn it into success. The second thing I would ask myself is it in or out of my control? Just for example, in my control. Maybe I am being stressed out because I have a whole friend group that gossips about each other and I just can't do it anymore. It is in my control because I am not fixed to a certain friend group. I can leave whenever I want. I'm working at a job and the boss hates my guts. I can leave. I love this quote. If you don't like where you are, move. You are not a tree. And it's so true. Stop victimizing yourself and placing the blame upon everybody else. You have the ability to pick yourself up and move. It might be hard. Honestly, it probably will be hard. It will probably be difficult, but those risks will return to greater rewards. If I never sat with myself and said, Alexis, why are you this way? Alexis, how can we heal through this? I wouldn't be the person in front of you today. I would not be the person who has so much peace, so much love, no matter what happens in my life, because I know that it is a choice. Happiness and peace is a choice that you get to make internally. You don't need to see the reflection externally to have happiness and peace inside. I mean, it helps. It helps to live a peaceful and soft life, but you don't need it. In fact, when you choose to internally be happy always, you are naturally going to see the progression of things outside of you that make you happy. So again, if it is in your control, change it, move it. If it is in your control and you don't do anything about it, you are choosing it. I also love the quote, what you're not changing, you're choosing. We love to be victims to our situation because it is so much easier. It is so much easier to place the blame upon somebody else than to say, you know what, no, I also have a part in this, and take accountability. Accountability burns. It stings. It's what gets you to the next level. It's what gets you moving. If you can't control it, accept it. Things like pain, change, death, you can't control them. So why ruminate on them? Okay, why spend a lot of your time overthinking about situations that are inevitable? For example, like if somebody cheats on you, no, it's not you. It's nothing you did. It's not about you. It's always about the other person. But it is not serving you to ruminate there and sit there and take the blame and become a victim to your situation. Grieve. Feel the emotions. Please sit in it. But don't sit in it to a point where you drown in it. To quickly sum up the last point, if you can control it, change. If you can't control it, accept it. The third thing is being grateful for everything you can be grateful for. I understand how hard it is to be in the midst of such a stressful and chaotic situation and be like, wow, look how pretty that rainbow is. I understand. But you have to understand, if you're at this level of acceptance, I accept what has happened, I can't change it, I can't go in the past and change what happened. All I can do now is just be grateful for what I have. And I'll give you a personal example. I ran away from home and I had no money, no friends, pretty much no family. I didn't feel supported at all. I felt lost and I felt confused. But a couple months prior to that, I made a decision that I was no longer going to be depressed. I was no longer going to be a pessimistic person. I was no longer going to be anxious. And I had understood and saw with my own eyes how my thoughts, beliefs, identity, mindset all created my reality. It was kind of like God was really, I don't like saying God was testing me, but it was kind of like God was like, okay, let's see how good you are at this new mindset. And he had put me in a situation that would have broken me years prior. I wouldn't be here right now if I still had the mindset that I had when I was younger going into the situation. But because I was like, no, every day, even when it's horrible, even when I don't know what I'm going to eat, even though I don't know how I'm going to eat, I'm going to wake up and be grateful for what I have. And every single day, God provided for me every single day. No matter what happens in your life, you have the ability to be grateful for something. Some days it was just, thank you that I'm not in tremendous amounts of pain. Thank you for this meal. Whatever it was, I just made sure to be grateful because gratitude is the best attitude. Gratitude is the best attitude ever to have. And just being in that frequency of overflow, abundance, and gratitude will bring you more situations to be grateful for. Fourth, this too shall pass. No matter what chapter of life you're in, that is what it is. A chapter. It is not your whole book, nor does it define the title of who you are. It is just a chapter. The thing is, a lot of people tend to skip over the worst chapters of their life. They don't want to feel it, they don't want to see it, they don't want to talk about it. Without that chapter that you're skipping over, the end may never make sense. Each chapter of your life, of your book, serves a divine purpose. and lesson in your life. Me and my father had a horrible relationship, really not good. And I could have chosen to be bitter. I could have chosen to stay in this mindset of my father didn't love me, so I can't love myself. I could have chosen to continue chasing emotional, unavailable men. But instead, I chose to heal. I chose to forgive. And now I am who I am because of the lesson that I learned. And this is the huge thing. A lot of people, they read the chapter. They are forced to go through hard things, but they never actually take the time to reread it, highlight it, learn from it, take the lesson that the chapter is providing you. And with that, it's like this emotion is being stored, this lesson is being stored in your body until you allow it to come up, until you allow yourself to heal. Again, I could have stayed this person who was a victim to my reality forever. I had that choice, but I chose differently, and it saved my life and it healed my life. And this is why I do this for other people. Choose differently, choose to heal, choose to understand that the people who did you wrong did the best they could with the resources they had. Forgive them, move on. Stop holding grudges. That is only hurting yourself. Forgiveness is never for the other person, it is always for yourself. Imagine the relief you would feel if you stopped constantly holding this resentment against people. Imagine. And you have the abilities to do so. You have the abilities. I know I have videos on my channel on how to forgive people because I forgive every single day. Even today, I was thinking about something, a situation that happened, and I started to feel like a little resentment come up, and I said, nope, I forgive you. I forgive you. And the feeling of relief after, I was like, wow, so beautiful. And now if I saw them in person, I wouldn't hold a grudge. I wouldn't give them a dirty look, wouldn't give them a side eye. I would probably energetically send love to them and feel love for them, because that is just it. Forgive and feel love. The fifth thing is find the lesson out of the situation. Every single lesson, good or bad, every single situation, good or bad, has a lesson, a divine lesson in it. And it is your choice on whether you want to dissect it or leave it be. I recommend dissecting it. From the worst breakup of your entire life to a failed exam, it all has a meaning, it all has a purpose, it all has a lesson. And if you choose to just hide from it, there's two options. One, it will keep coming up in different forms, or two, it'll stay inside of your body. That's it, it'll just stay in there. I'm not saying this is easy work. I'm not saying that at all. Somebody who has gone through countless nights of journaling, crying, screaming it out, and healing myself, I understand it is not easy. But choose your easy. It's like choosing your hard. Do you want to be broken? Do you want to be miserable? Do you want to hate life? Or do you want to heal and grow? Choose your hard. That is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching it. I hope you loved it as much as I loved making it. Like and follow for more. And to join my free community of women called Lovely Ladies, you can join through the link in my description of my YouTube or the link of my description of my Instagram. I post on Instagram and TikTok every single day. So if you want to see more of me, go there. And I love you so much. Mwah.